Hello, everyone. Today is the third day of the month of hiding here on Neopets, and this is part two of my Altador Cup Beginner's Guide. So I noticed a ton of people were new to playing the Altador Cup this year, but we got a ton of signups. It was just I've noticed a ton of people in the boards saying like, "Hey, I'm new. This is the first time I've ever played." And I'm super excited about that because I was basically like the only newbie last year. So it's really, at least on my team, obviously not in the whole of Neopets, but on my team, there weren't very many newbies, but we've seen a ton of newbies this year. So I am making these guides for you if you're a little bit intimidated by the entire process of playing. Linked in the video description below, there will be part one of this game guide. I did a UU ball game guide and I sort of explained almost everything I wanted to cover, but we are going to hop right in and I will show you guys the three other games that you play during the Altador Cup and how I personally play them. I am not as good at these games as, I'm not good at any of the games. I'm not like super good at any of the games. So I just have fewer tips and tricks for these ones, so I will be covering them all in this video. So let's hop in. So we're here on the landing page again. We scroll all the way down here and we are going to play Slushie Slinger first. Now, something about this game is me personally, I play with a mouse because there's something called animation canceling. That's only something you can do on the mouse in this game. I will explain what that is in case you're unfamiliar. You probably are familiar. In a ton of other video games, animation canceling is a huge deal. It makes everything so much faster. So we can go ahead and view the instructions, but this is very text heavy. So essentially, you have those three lines of people. They all want slushies. You give them the slushie they want, they drink it, they send their empty cup back to you. The color of the slushie that they want does not matter as much as you might believe. So if you get really overwhelmed by this game, you get really stressed out because you have to keep switching lanes and stuff, don't worry about it. I think it's you get 5 points for a correct slushie, and you get 3 points for an incorrect slushie. So the way I play this game is if you want a slushie that's not right next to your line, you got in the wrong line. You're not getting the slushie of your color choice. That's how I play. It is so much easier and so much less chaotic and stressful to think about it that way. So I'm going to start and see, he wants a pink one. Well, you're in the wrong line. There you go. And if you could see, that was a lot faster for me to grab this and just really quickly. Again, if you use the keyboard, you can't animation cancel like that. And when it gets overwhelming, because it will, this gets crazy. Um, it won't be pleasant. So I like to actually let my lines build up a little. This one is okay. It's got three, so I'll go 1, 2, 3. Because you have to catch the empty cups, it's a lot easier to serve people in big groups. So that's what I like to do. See, we've got three down here. 1, 2, 3. And just as long as you're keeping in mind that they don't get to the front or the end of this line, because then they get frustrated and it counts as messing up a smoothie up here, or a slushie, sorry. So we've got, there we go. So yeah, right at the beginning, it says up here I'm level 2. It's a lot easier. Um, it's kind of slow at the start, but trust me when I tell you that later this is going to get crazy. So right now it's only giving us a couple customers at a time. It at some point it gets so overloaded that the game looks like it's going to crash. Um, and this is just that's just how it plays. So um, yeah, just bog standard, waiting for them to come and get their stuff. I'm going to speed through this until things start getting crazy around level 13 or so. All right, we've gotten to level 13, and here is where things get a little bit more difficult to see. As you can see, they start stacking onto each other, so it's getting real crowded. You can't really tell if you have people drinking their slushies here or not. Um, it's around this time that the game starts getting a little game breaky. And one wrong move with this many empty slushy cups coming up is gonna get rid of your 5 lives super fast. Um, but this is where I just really lean into the chaos. I stopped short there because I actually miscalculated. I almost clicked one more time than there were customers, so that would have gotten rid of one of my lives. So not ideal. Um, but honestly, we have enough of a score right now that it would feel okay submitting it. Once you get over 800, there's really not like too much of a reason to keep playing. So if you really were like worried about time crunch, you could just quit the game once you get uh, past a certain score. You can just sabotage yourself. Um, but I like to see how much I can get once it gets this chaotic because I mean, look at them. Look at the way they are just layering on top of one another. It is so chaotic. Okay, I don't have anyone else drinking on that row. Let's just handle this row. And this is why the animation canceling thing is like so important because look how fast this is going. But yeah, at some point, people are gonna start getting mad. Up here, probably. Okay, I don't think I have anyone drinking here. And yeah, as you can see, this is, yeah, there's the chaos. Okay. Um, yeah, you try to rack up as many points as you can before you hit that failure state where there are just too many people there. With a little bit more focus, I can sometimes get a score a little bit higher than this, but you really don't need to. Um, as you can see here on the Jelly Neo Slushy Slinger guide, you actually only need 270 points in a game to contribute to increasing your rank and have a positive effect on your um, team. So you don't have to play as long as I do. And that's why I say, once you get to whatever you feel is your minimum sending score, mine is 800. But again, whatever your minimum score is, once you send that, as long as it's over 270, you will increase your rank and you can just throw the game at that point and send that score. So we are going to move on now to our next game. This one is called Make Some Noise. It is easy to play, it's pretty self explanatory, but it's not one of my favorite games. So I don't usually play this one. And here's why. It is, how do I say this? Annoying. Basically, the goal is to tap two keys on your keyboard as quickly as physically possible. And then when you're watching the screen, there will be bonus keys to sometimes hit. And I just personally, it's really annoying to play because it's so much like clicky clacky. Maybe if you have maybe if you really like the sound of keyboard noises or you have one of the really fancy keyboards that like sound nicer, then maybe you'll enjoy playing this. But just for me, it's not one of the games that I play. I will usually go with UU Ball, and then if I can, Slushy Slinger, and sometimes Shootout Showdown, which we will cover next. But I will still play this for you guys and show you. So we've got A and X right now, and then I've got to keep an eye out and see um, if there are bonus keys. So let's just do this. Okay. So that's it. That's the game. I got 5,025 points. I didn't get any bonus points, and I missed the cue that came up. I tried to get it, but I didn't quite, I think. So that was the bonus points, the no bonus points thing. But still, 5,025 points, not that bad. Um, it's just annoying. I personally am not a fan of this. Maybe it's a little more pleasant to play on a touchscreen, but I don't think so. I haven't heard that. So yeah, just not a game for me. But if you enjoy this sort of game, go for it. Absolutely. Um, so I go ahead and submit. Yay. So, and again, this will be linked down below, but on the Make Some Noise guide from Jelly Neo, it does say that getting 2,700 points is the minimum to earn rank points. So, again, you don't have to get a super high score for these games. As long as you are sending this minimum score, you are making a positive impact for your own rank and for your team. So this is our final game of the day. It's Shootout Showdown. I forgot to mention that maxing out on these games is wild. You can send up to 242 scores on both Shootout Showdown and Make Some Noise. So if you want to play all day and score a bunch of rank points, um, this is always an option. People who max these games, I can't understand. Because UU Ball already takes like 3 hours for me, so I cannot imagine doing these as well. They are so much stronger than me. The people who do that, you're so much stronger than me. Um, I also forgot to mention you can submit up to 53 scores of Slushy Slinger as well. Again, maxing this out is wild to me, probably because I don't throw the game when I have like a good enough score. But even still, like, whatever their method is for doing all of these games a day, maxing out on these ones is wild. But okay, on to Shootout Showdown, since we've covered what maxing these games out is. Um, this Jelly Chia is public enemy number one. I'm so serious right now. Everybody hates him. He's smug. He really rubs it in your face when you mess up. Um, and something that happened between last year, I believe, and this year was that he has gotten so much faster. he moves around the goal like twice as fast as he used to. So this used to be a fairly easy game to play, and now it is very difficult. So no one blames you at all if you don't want to play this one. I don't usually. You can see Yu Ball I have played 84 times. Slushie Slinger, only 6 so far. Make Some Noise once. And Shootout Showdown only 15 times so far. So it's really it's it's a tough game. Okay. So if we start, you can see he's moving around. He's moving around. When you hold down your space bar, the bar on the side starts going. If you release it when the bar isn't full, you are going to have a problem because the yu ball is not going to move very quickly. Now what I do is I hold the bar down and I hit my right arrow key, and then I try to time it, but you can see he got me. This is timed, so I'm not winning this game. I've been talking too much. But that's what I do for each one, and I try to time it right, but as I said, he is just so fast, and he's just laughing at me. He rubs it in your face. He's just laughing. How you didn't get any score? Ha ha. Rude. Um, so yeah, just gonna restart, obviously. That is not the kind of score I want. So let me try again real quick, but I am always just aiming for that corner and hoping he's not gonna catch up with me. You have to get 5 goals before the timer runs out. And see, he was hanging out like all the way on the green side, and then he still got me. So the accuracy bonus thing is really hard to get now, but as you can see, I finally got my 5 goals. But I did have to hit the UU ball way more than 5 times. In an ideal world, to get like the best possible score, you have to hit it 5 times only and get all 5 goals. That's the goal. But I don't think I've ever done that in my whole life. So I got my goals, and my final score is 738. Checking the Jelly Neo game guide once again, you can see that you earn rank points just by getting 35 points. So if you score 1 goal, you earn rank points here. So again, you don't have to stress about having a really, really good score. I got to rank 12 last year. I am already on rank 8. This year is a super good time to be playing this because they actually lowered the rank requirements. So I did only play for about a week last year because I was super intimidated to start playing. I was like, oh, I'm going to mess it up for my team. Like, I don't know. I'm not good at the games. I shouldn't even try. And then in the last week, a lot of people who post in the official Haunted Woods devotees Neo board, they were really encouraging and they were like, no, you should try. And like, that's what made me actually try to play. One of the teammates also gave me Rebella, my pet, my elderly Ixie, whom I love so much. So, yeah, last year's Altador Cup holds a special place in my heart, and so that's why I'm so, so excited for a bunch of people to be playing for the first time this year. So, as you can see, when you click on that little button on your stats, you get sent to your tournament rankings, and it lets you know how many times you need to win certain games in order to get enough points to rank up. There's I got a lot of points left to go until I get to rank 9. But yeah, this year they lowered the rank requirements, so I've been able to rank up pretty quickly, almost exclusively playing UU Ball. Again, you can see very clearly what my game preference is here. So yeah, I only have to win another 17 games of UU Ball to get to rank 9. I should be able to do that today. And then as far as other games go, I could do this in a day. This is I can't. There's not there's not a version of me in the universe, in the multiverse, who would be playing 198 games of Make Some Noise in a day. But you could. If that's your game, you saw it was very quick. If that's your game and you love that game, I salute you. It impresses me that you've done that you do that. So, just play all of the games, get a feel for them, see if you have very specific preferences because there are some people who just straight up they don't play UU Ball at all. And they still rank up and they still have a great time in the Altador Cup and they just don't like that game and they don't play it. One final thing before we leave is I do want to show you guys, if you scroll all the way down, we have this news section. And the other day, Orion actually came on the news section and asked for help, and I was able to help him. He needed to locate this area, and then you got a little prize. So that is something to look at. I don't usually scroll down because typically the news page kind of looks like this, and they just talk about like, oh, what's going on and who's in the lead and who, the fictional characters of the players of UU Ball, like, and that's interesting, but I don't typically read it that often. I'm sorry to the person who writes it. Somebody has to write it. I'm sorry. But I'm not usually interested in that part. But clearly, there is some plot development happening down here because Orion has been involved in every single one of the plot relevant, the void within plot relevant plot lines. So, if you are doing the void within plot, make sure you at least check this section periodically because I have a feeling he's going to show up more than just this one time. Okay, I think I've covered everything that a beginner needs to know, and I think I've rambled at you guys long enough. So, with all of that done, that is going to do it for us today. I hope these two videos were helpful in some way if you were intimidated by playing the Altador Cup. It is actually genuinely super, super fun, and no matter what rank you get, you will get a little trophy at the end of this on your pet page. So if you're a trophy collector, I'm not much of one, but I'm trying to start. Um, it's a great little game to play, and I have a lot of fun with it every year. I have a lot of fun in the boards, so if you happened to already join the Haunted Woods, you'll find me there. Um, I know I am a little late to this explanation for people who were on the fence and didn't do signups because signups are unfortunately closed for this year. But if this interested you and you watched these videos and you hadn't signed up and you're like, ah, man, this happens every single year. So you have a chance in 2025 to play this if you want to. But yeah, that is going to do it for us today. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so, so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!